Hi and welcome to Bikerheadz. My name's Ed and today I'm going to talk about wind noise. It wasn't me. Okay, so let's talk about a controversial subject in the motorcycle trade, and that's wind noise. Wind noise is the most subjective issue in the motorcycle trade, but we get asked about it all the time. It's constantly on people's mind that everyone wants a quiet helmet, everyone wants a helmet where they can hear what's going on around them but doesn't want that wind noise. So today I'm going to talk to you about a few of the reasons you get the wind noise and a few of the ways you can help solve it to an extent. So, wind noise, how does it happen? Obviously, depending on what bike you've got, that's your first criteria. Have you got a sports bike, a tourer, a scooter, a moped? How fast are you going? All those things create factors in terms of wind noise. So as you imagine, you've got a screen on the front of your bike, it comes over the screen, you get turbulence between yourself and the screen essentially, and then the wind gets pushed up inside your helmet. So quite often when you have a screen, you're actually going to get more wind noise than if you don't have one. If you're in clean air, you tend to just go rushing past this way, you're not going to get air getting pushed up in this area. Little experiment for you in a safe environment obviously. If you're riding along, take your handlebars for a second, put it just there on your helmet, and you'll notice the wind noise drop dramatically. It's because all the wind's coming up in here and that's where the noise is being created from. So, how do you help solve those problems? You can adjust the height of your screen on your bike if you're getting severe wind noise. That will change if you've got an adjustable screen, so that's the easiest way of doing it, just having a little play at home. Second thing I would suggest is getting an aeroacoustically designed helmet. So, let's talk about Schuberth as a special subject for me. What they have in their factory is an aerodynamic and an aeroacoustic wind tunnel. So what does that mean? Aerodynamic is the airflow over the helmet, reducing drag. Aeroacoustic is dropping the wind noise in the helmet. Not quite simple as you would have thought, because actually what they do is they take the frequency of the noise and they drop down the harmful frequencies. So it's not just creating a lower decibel level all the time, it's actually taking out the harmful frequencies from the helmet to try and make it a more pleasurable and safer riding experience for people on the road. So that's the first thing, aerodynamic aeroacoustic helmets. Let's talk about the type of helmet you're going to buy. This is obviously the flip front helmet, C4 Pro, which is aeroacoustically designed. But you can also buy fixed face helmets, say an S2, and then you've got the race helmets, the SR1, and the open face, the M1. Let's talk about the C4 Pro. It's a flip up, which means it's the quietest helmets you can buy is having a flip. That might be counterintuitive because you'd think it would have more ridges and areas around the join that would create wind noise. That's not the case. Let me explain why. With a full face helmet, when you put it on your head, the opening has to be big enough to get your whole head in. It means your opening here is going to be bigger, so you're going to get more airflow up. When you're a flip front, obviously you put it on your head, you seal the front down. It means this area here can be considerably smaller than a full face, which means you get less air up and into this area. So a flip front helmet like the C4 Pro is going to be a quieter helmet than the S2, which is the full face version. You can see you've got this acoustic collar running around the inside here as well. So you're going to get even better seal because this can obviously bend backwards when you put your head in. So you're getting a great seal around this whole area, and that is absolutely key to aeroacoustics. Second thing, on the front, make sure you get a good visor seal around here, you're not getting any air in there, and this needs to be as smooth as possible. So you can see on the side here, you can barely see the join where the helmet meets. There's no overlap, so you're not going to get noise created. And then this whole visor is built into the shape of the helmet, so the air can flow smoothly over the top. So all those things are adding up to a little bit of a quieter experience on the bike. It's just helping you out a little bit, keeping that wind noise down. Now one thing I will say to you though, is when you do aeroacoustic testing, at the Schuberth factory they have a screen that goes up and down, so you can adjust the screen for different types of bikes, different riding styles. They also have different bikes there, different height riders, all those sorts of things. When they test it and they move the screen up, if the wind happens to hit you about here on any helmet, it's extremely noisy. So 80% of the time you're fine, but if the wind happens to hit your visor about there, you get a serious amount of noise through the helmet. There's nothing you can do about that, that's just the way it is. So just get on your bike, ride with your helmet, test, get your screen height checked, but some people will just get a noisy helmet. That's just the way it is, there's nothing you can do about that. For those people, and for all the others, I would definitely suggest getting a set of earplugs. That's your secondary measure. Get some earplugs in. Earplug technology has come along quite a lot in the last few years. We now have earplugs like the Pinlock earplugs here, 2 sizes in the box so you can get the fit perfect in your ear, and then they have small red filters in it. I don't know if you can see on the camera there, you've got these small red filters. That filters out all the harmful frequencies. So any harmful frequencies that the guys at the helmet testing now haven't been able to tune out, these little red frequency emitters will cut those frequencies out for you. So they're built into the earplugs there. Really good, it means you can still hear everything that goes on around you, but it's going to take away those harmful frequencies. You can still hear your exhaust pipe and things like that, which you want to be able to hear when you're riding your bike, trying to get your gear changes right, hear the cars around you, buses, all that sort of thing. So really important to get a really good set of earplugs. So I'd say that's your 2 major ways of keeping your helmet as quiet as possible, keeping you safe and keeping your hearing intact. Really important. For any information on the products I've talked about, go to bikerheadz.co.uk. get down your local dealer to pick up a copy of our catalogue, or you can download that from bikerheadz.co.uk. Please like and subscribe below.